and welcome to another episode of Cosmos and Bailey. I'm Bailey and I am a clairvoyant psychic medium and spiritual healer based in New Zealand. And today's video is going to be a rather short one, but I feel a very necessary one. And that is to do with the idea of shadow work and also the idea of having a shadow that you need to energetically and spiritually clear. So from my understanding and also working as an energy and spiritual healer and having a very vast understanding of the energy body, the chakra system, and also the realms of consciousness and how we express, the shadow doesn't actually exist. And I'm going to tell you why. So, and you don't have a shadow to clear. So the reason why I feel the idea of shadow work or have to clear the shadow is it's actually a form of separation. Like you're separated from yourself. Like you think that you have to clear and clear and clear. So you are yourself. I have to remove this thing over me that is hindering me from being myself. And so you've already put yourself into a box that you need to do heaps and heaps and heaps of spiritual healing and clearing in order to remove something. But what happens if this metaphorical shadow wasn't actually there in the first place? It makes the spiritual pathway a lot more easier to understand, and also it takes the pressure off the idea of having to do really, really intense amounts of spiritual healing and clearing, which isn't really, and also that is the ego that believes that it has to keep spiritually healing and clearing when the soul knows what it's doing. So for this reason, I feel that the shadow or shadow work is actually a part of egoic spirituality. And if you go back to the collapse of the Atlantean ego and how the ego consciousness got created, I'm going to link it, and how we are now going through a collapse of the ego consciousness as we evolve into a new planetary era, we no longer need these old world spiritual teachings to guide us. And we sort of step out of the need for a guru or a teacher that has all the answers, and we begin to sort of really align with the soul and trusting that the soul knows what it's doing. And so we sort of let go of the need to force healing, also the need to, I need to go on a healing journey right now, or this obsessive compulsive desire to spiritually clear ourselves so we feel better. Okay, so the reason why there is no such thing as shadow work is because we all have an energy body and we all have an energetic system. So that includes, and it does not matter how advanced you are, we all have an energy body. Or how asleep someone is, we all have an energy body, and we all have an energy body. However, some are having a different experience to others, and we are respectful if they are not understanding of such things as an energy body. So the reason why there is no shadow is because we all have an energy body, a chakra system, an energetic aura or an energy field. Then also what I said, the energy body in which our soul is embodied in the physical, which is our vessel. And we incarnate with our energy body and our chakra system and our aura. And why, and so if you just think about it, this is very common sense, and I consider myself to be an incredibly common sense spiritual healer, is that we have had many past lives. We have all had past lives in Atlantis. We've all had past lives in the old world planetary cycle where the unloving patriarchy sort of ruled and governed our earth and our consciousness. So therefore, we all have an energy body and what happens is because we've had all these past experiences and past lives, and we incarnate with the same energy body over and over again. What happens is that you actually need to start clearing these memories and these imprints and past life memories that are collected in your aura. So it makes sense, right? Instead of this idea of having a shadow, it's actually all that you need to do is focus on clearing out your energy body from imprints, energetic trauma, and memories that are still affecting you today in this incarnation. Yeah, past life experiences are a really big thing. If you so what and what happens with these memories and these energies that are in our energy body that we have incarnated with over and over again is that now round about this time on the earth, we're going to start feeling the need to start evolving out of the energies and the consciousness that we've embodied in the energy body from the old world consciousness, because we are going through and moving into a new era with the return of the matriarch. So we are feeling this on a spiritual level, whether we are aware of it or not. We're feeling the impulses from the cosmos to start doing spiritual healing and clearing, because it's a lot more easier on the earth now to start clearing the energy body. So you do not need to focus on clearing the shadow. Shadow work does not actually exist. And I'm saying that from someone who is literally being spiritually trained to do spiritual healing work. So that's another thing when it comes to healers and spiritual information you're ingesting online. You really want to decipher if it's really old world spiritual teaching, and if it's empowering to you in your spirit journey, and it supports the soul in your journey that you're on. Just because someone says something is spiritual, it does not mean that it's for you, including my videos. So we all have an aura and an energy body in the chakra system, and we're all so unique. And because we've experienced ourselves with spirituality as in a one way and one way only, I am the leader, you do spirituality this way, we're letting go of that idea of spirituality, and we're becoming more in tune with ourselves and our soul, and what our soul naturally knows what to do. Even if our human self feels very, very confused, the soul knows what it's doing. So that immediately empowers you in knowing that you know what you're doing, even if you don't know what you're doing. So shadow work is a very disempowering idea that you have to sort of remove something. What you really want to do is you want to clear your unique energy field from past life memories, from childhood trauma, from teen trauma that really hinders you from not enjoying your body as you are now. So that should take the pressure off the idea of spiritual healing and give it a bit more of an easier understanding. It's a very overzealous thing to say we need to clear the shadow. No one can, and if you just think about it, no one can really, if you ask them, tell you what exactly shadow work is. It's just this thing that's floating around, much like the idea of the matrix. Okay, yeah, so, and also it's very important to remember in the age of technology, in the energy body and the aura, is that it's very easy to get imprinted energetically with someone else's beliefs or ideas about something that aren't actually yours. And if you consider yourself to be very clean and clear and aware, it's very easy for you to sort of take on stuff around you without even realizing, and then you take on a belief system, especially in childhood or your teens. We're all very vulnerable in those parts of our lives. We could just be carrying ideas without realizing they aren't really who we are. So therefore, I would highly recommend going to see a spiritual healer who can help you begin that process and give you tips and tricks to clearing your own energy field and empowering you and tuning in to what's going on within you so you can help yourself. Psychic projection is also a really big one. What can happen, again, because we all are embodying different levels of understanding on the earth with auras, energy bodies, and chakra systems. We've all had vastly different experiences. We've all had vastly different past lives. Not one person is going to be the same as you. So you need to be a bit careful with the aura and the energy body and psychic projection, and that someone can just project something onto you energetically through anger, jealousy, envy. You need to do it this way because I said so, or even if you just ingest a book, you are taking in information and it is coming into your aura and your energy body, and it's becoming a part of your energy body and belief system. So you want to be really hesitant with ingesting too much information and spiritual information in general. You don't want to bog up your energy field or your natural intuition. You really want to start honing in and listening to yourself first and foremost. So with psychic projection, it depends if you've had a lot of experiences with high conflict, or you've been in high conflict living environments and stuff like that, or you've experienced black magic or, psychic phenomena. But when it comes to psychic projection, other people, if they are not aware of the energies, can literally just sort of bombard you with their energies and their burdens, and you can unwittingly take it on without realizing. Like, it's very subtle, and that's where a good psychic protection comes in from projection. So psychic protection, it's not wise to go around in a bubble. I would clear your field. I'm going to have some meditations coming up to help you with that. A lot of the times we can be in environments and just very unwittingly be sort of bombarded with belief systems and ways of life and projections of others' realities that are not really what we're experiencing. And sometimes out of a feeling of isolation, we can also decide to take on someone else's projection so we fit in. That's another thing as well with the energy body and the energy field. And this is why shadow work does not exist. All you want to do is focus on clearing out your energy body. Something that is really, there's no such thing as shadow, and I'm probably going to trigger a few people with that, but in working with the energy body and the energy fields of others as a healer, you really just want to clear things out that don't need to be there anymore. And that's where a really good healer comes in and can help you understand it, help you guide you through the process, so you're not out there like a blind bat just sort of ingesting all this information that's sort of just confusing you and your pathway, because that can happen as well. You can just get so bombarded, especially when you first awaken, and then go online and sort of lack the discernment to really discern who's coming from what. And that's where a really good healer comes in to help you understand the process of what's going on. Yeah, energy body, past life experiences, this life experiences as well. For me and my pathway of clearing out my energy body in this lifetime, I did a lot of clearing around childhood trauma and teen trauma. Believe it or not, teen trauma, what goes on in your teens really affects you as an adult. Same with your inner child. There's a lot of stuff out there on the inner child. Again, I would go to someone who is a professional healer who knows what they're doing with the inner child and teen energies. It's all very well and good to do free stuff online, but you are also a unique soul who has a unique pathway and unique experiences. And when you go trying to do self-healing work with free stuff online, it may not be getting to the nitty-gritty of why you're experiencing something. And that's where someone who knows what they're doing can help you with. And then what happens if you don't get to the nitty-gritty energetic reasoning of something? It's going to keep looping around in you until you've gotten it. And even for myself, I have a few people I go to when I know something is looping within me, because it's just so helpful to have someone there who can help guide you through the process. And that's essentially what a healer is. They're here to help guide you. And so you sort of can build up stuff in your energy field that feels like a shadow, and really it's just a lot of density and emotions and experiences from this life and past lives that have sort of created a type of persona around the soul. And also there is the collapse of the ego consciousness as well. And then you really start questioning who you are as a person, because what's happened is you've sort of created a persona from the ego, and the ego isn't bad. We're just evolving out of that state of consciousness now. Okay, so that is why shadow work doesn't really exist. And people can say, oh, there's shadow beings in the psychic realms. Yes, but that's the state in the realm of density. Yes, to things like entities and stuff like that, it's not shadow. It's just a part of the reality and the psychic phenomena of being on this earth. And no, you haven't drawn dark psychic phenomena to you. You could be going through some initiation. You also could be going through some trials and testing. And because of the state of density on the earth, there are energies in the psychic realms that do not have your best intentions at heart. Just like there are people on this earth that do not have your best intentions at heart. Okay. And it is up to you what energies you want to work with. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful.